Hi, everybody. Are you ready to learn our second, hear the S there, red word of the week? Well, guess what? It also begins with the letter S. Take a look. Here's the sentence. The dog said woof. There's the word underlined in red. The word is said. A couple things about this one. The dog said woof. What do we notice in this sentence? Do you see the talking marks with what the dog said? This is exactly what the dog said. Woof. And it's right inside those talking marks. Said is actually the past of the word say. If I say something, if it's already happened, I said it. So I say it's time to learn a red word. And if it's already happened, I said it's time to learn a red word. What do we say when we use he or she? We say he or she says, and then when it's already happened, it's said again. He said, she said, we said, they said. Said is the past tense of say and says. Said is spelled S-A-I-D. Why is it a red word? If we stretch it out the way it should be said, and then two vowels, A and I, should say A, right? Because the first one does the talking. So aid, said. That's not how we say it. We say it said. So listen to what the A and the I say together. S-ed, s-ed. They actually make a short E sound. Isn't that silly? Well, what do we say about vowels? Vowels can be tricky. So let's practice said. Can you think of a sentence? Think about it. I said, hello. She said, uh-oh, the oven is still on. Anything you want using the word said. What is something that you could have said? Let's practice tapping the word said. My one left-handed friend, bring your right arm around, put your left hand on your right wrist, and you're going to do S at your wrist, A at your lower arm, I at your upper arm, and D at your shoulder. And the rest of us, bring your left arm around, put your right hand on your left shoulder, and we're tapping down to our wrist. S at the shoulder, A at your upper arm, I at your lower arm, D at your wrist. Are you ready? Said. S-A-I-D, said. Again. S-A-I-D, said. One more time. S-A-I-D, said. Are you ready to write it? Let's do it. Look at the mistake I made. We used to learn the word said as our 48th red word, but now number 22 was so, and I have number 23 as next week's word. So I had to make this one 22 and a half. So that's kind of silly. I crossed out 48 and made it 22 and a half. And the word is said. And we're going to take our bumpy screen and put it right underneath the word said. And now you can take your red crayon and write S-A. You're tracing over S-A-I-D, said. Now with your tracing finger, you can trace 3 times. S-A-I-D, said. Again, S-A-I-D, said. One more time. S-A-I-D, said. Now you can take your bumpy screen out and take your red crayon and write it 3 times. S-A-I-D, said. Again, S-A-I-D, said. One more time. S-A-I-D, said. Now turn your paper over and see if you can remember how to write it. S-A-I-D, said. And now turn it back and you can write a sentence using the word said. My mother said I have to go to bed. Something like that. Anything you want. And then you can put the word in your red folder along with your bumpy screen and your red crayon. And one more step before you're done. Add the word said to your word list number 3. And now you are finished. Have a great day.